Hey, hi. I'm Mona. This is Chit Chat. It's like between 5 or it's going to be 6, I think, right now. So, I was feeling some kind of way today, especially like right now for some reason. Because, I was doing things, cooking dinner and things and thinking, right? I'm about to eat right now, but, I was like, let me get this out. I gotta like get it out of my system, you know? So like, I was thinking about that woman today at the store. And I was recalling the moment when she was kind of standing up to me, but she was like crying at the same time. And that was a trigger thing for me because I don't want to make anybody cry, you know. Well, when it comes to the leaders of the town, I don't care, right? But just random people like that, no. Mm-mm. You know? But the worst thing about it was because I sensed her fear. Yeah. I sensed her fear. And that made me feel bad. I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot of people fear me. They do. But I can't help it if I'm like that. And if, certain people's interactions with me end up in being not so good. It's not my fault, those things, right? I'm a very, I'm spiritual, right? I put on that post, like, I am not any form of Catholic. I got my own thing going on, right? And the reason why I stick with what I do, the way I do it, because everybody's got their own way to do their things. I just have been so abundantly blessed that I cannot deny what I do and how I pray and what I believe. Because, yeah, there's no other explanation for me of why my life has been full of these types of blessings, And that's why I'm not any form of Catholic or, I got my own thing. I got Bibles here. But I also have the Quran, Bhagavad Gita. I have, the Keys of Solomon. I have the Ethiopian Bible. I have, those things. Doesn't mean I'm any particular thing. And so I was thinking that when I was cooking dinner, I was like, damn. Because I know I scare people, but, fear is there because somebody's holding something back because they're, but then again, I can be real abrasive. I've been told that. I've been told that before, that I'm abrasive. And the way I speak is also abrasive, right? Except when the moods are light and then everything is cool, whatever, right? But when I'm irked, or when that feeling of deception comes upon me by others, yeah, I'm not the same person. I remember I had a boyfriend who was very abusive. He had just got out of prison. And he would totally beat up on me, but I would fight back. I mean, he got hit with a crowbar a couple times. And what's crazy is he was so crazy himself, he would always be like, "Is that all you got?" And the harder I hit him, he would just say that until he was like, "Ah," Anyways, he told me, when you get mad, you don't even look the same. I know. And so he's not alive anymore, though. A lot of the people, unfortunately, I hate to say it, and I'm hoping this is not the case, but and it might, I don't know, but a lot of people who have deceived me in the past are all dead. Not from me, just unfortunate events. And it's so crazy because back home, where I used to live, it was particular people that were interacting with me. I don't do anything to try to hurt anybody or try to, oh, evil on you or none of that stuff. I don't do that. But I've been deceived so much because of my kindness. But I let it go. After, I don't look to retaliate or to, try to get something back or no. I just let it go. Right? So, yeah, I have known, though, that I'm super mean because when I was in the military, they had a nickname for me. I'm not going to say what it is. But it was because I was fucking mean. I was mean. Right? But I bumped up in the ranks pretty quick. I got meritoriously advanced twice, and I got a whole bunch of medals too, so. And I remember even there were petty officers above me in rank, and they also were afraid of me, because I was so mean. But they put me in these positions where I had to have extreme responsibility for things. And I didn't want anyone to fuck it up for me because they were life-saving things. And I took that very seriously. I didn't like people fucking around or lying or doing anything deceptive. And I kind of think that's possibly why I got bumped up so quick, I even told them one time that because they didn't want to upgrade one of the, the seamen, I guess, And they're like, oh, it's time for you to take the test. You can get advanced, blah, 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 blah. But I felt, because they would pick on this guy. And I said, you know what? I don't want to take the test because you got to take the test. I don't want to take the test unless you let him take the test with me. Because I felt like it was unfair. So they let him take the test. Because he was up for advancement, but they didn't want to give him the advancement. He was there longer than me, and he really tried hard. He did the best he could. But for some reason, they were not, And I said, I'll take the test if he takes the test. I think it took him about 10 minutes to get back to me. Okay, you guys go in and take the test. Because at least let him try. If he doesn't pass the test, okay, big deal. At least let him try. I think he passed the test. So that was cool. That's the kind of person I am. I don't like seeing authority pick on people. I don't like that. It sucks. I don't like that. And so I was, that was that story. So anyways, I guess I'm a special person. Right? So I was also thinking about stuff. And I was thinking, because I've talked about this before, maybe last year on this channel, when I was on the road. I think I might have been here in Texas, but not here. I think it was like Central Texas, maybe. I can't remember exactly where. And we were out there. I think we might have been by Georgetown. I can't remember, but I was talking to you guys about religion and all this stuff, and going through the Bible, and trying to figure out, because I that's what I did on the road, trying to figure out, what am I, which denomination of Christianity do I want to be, because I knew, I mean, the other religions that I study, I incorporate a little bit of that stuff into my own personal thoughts, right? All the stuff that's common sense, that's righteous, right? Because all of them are similar anyways. Buddhism is a little bit different. Okay? And yeah. Anyways, so when I was thinking about this lady and all this stuff, I was thinking about my own thing, because she was telling me, well, you're not a good Christian because of how you're talking. I'm not Christian. And Jesus fought. Jesus fought for the little guy. That's what how could you not know this? It's common sense stuff. You know what I'm saying? I found out so many lies in the Bible, but I still like the Bibles and all the other religious books. It's nice to dip in them sometimes, look around, see what's going on in there. I don't mind. I believe what I believe, and from every religious book I do have, I mean, some stuff in there, and all of them are cool. Not really against, too much. Except the violent stuff. The Bibles are violent, when it comes to well, of course, I mean, Jesus was murdered at the end. You know what gets me, though, about the Bible? It's like, when Jesus is gone, the Bible is done. And that's it. So, what happened to everybody else? What's going on? The prophets, what's up with them? That's why it's just too hard for me to really consider the Bible realistic, because and plus we all know that King James only plucked out the stuff he wanted and put it in a book and switched it up and made people think that it's not accurate. It's not. None of them are. I think the most accurate, is the Ethiopian Bible. Anyways, so I was thinking about, I was baptized twice as a baby. And I was always wondering why. And my mom passed away after I was figuring that stuff out, so I couldn't ask her specifically. So I was trying to, that's when the studies began, hardcore. I started going to churches and getting Bibles. You go to some churches, I don't know about around here, but you go to some churches, they'll give you a Bible. I have different types of Bibles, And I used to have the Bible apps on my phone, the different denominations, so I can look in and compare them, It's, I'm laughing because I figured stuff out, If you don't compare all these religious books in the different denominations of Christianity, you're not going to really get the gist of what's going on. It's you have to dip into all of them so you can see what's really going on. That's why I'm no denomination. It's kind of like each one made up their own stuff and flipped around their stories. If that's the case, then I'm just going to believe the way I want to believe. And that's how I do it. And I was always wondering, why did my mom baptize me that way? And I figured it out today. Yes. Because before I would be trying to Google it. Why would somebody do this? And I could never find it. So, but today, when I typed it in there, because you really have to, when you are looking stuff up, the wording is important. you really have to explain to Google what exactly you're looking for, right? If you don't explain it right, you're not gonna find it. So the first try around, I was like, oh man, I couldn't figure it out, right? And then I worded it a certain way and I found it. Okay. So I always thought, like, is this something, like, is my mom, but my mom was always some certain type of way too. But yeah, my mom was dealing with like demons and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy style. Yeah, I remember at one time with the breaking of the candles, the red candles, and whoa. I was like, whoa, ma, tripping out. So yeah, my mom was doing some stuff, but I never followed along with that. I just thought it was weird, but she never exposed me to whatever she was doing there too much, right? But yeah, But I figured out why she did that. Yeah, it's because of the joining of two different denominations. Yeah, so simple. So simple. My dad was Catholic. My mom was Protestant. I never went to Catholic churches though. I went to Protestant churches, and church, not is, right? I went to one, and it wasn't even in English, so I couldn't understand it. So I was just sitting there waiting. So I had no really knowledge of any type of religion. And once we went home after that, that's when we never talked about it. That's it. So my mom never pushed religion. I myself wanted to dip into it because I had a near-death experience, and there's what happened when I came to, I can't explain what I saw. I can't explain it scientifically because I used to be a person of science, right? I mean, I kind of believed something, energies. I believed, yeah, God, the energy. But when I didn't really have an understanding, and I never really took any interest to look into it ever until that happened, the near-death experience. Because I lost 3 days. I woke up in the hospital, and I mean, I thought it was only a couple of minutes, but it so happened that it was 3 days that had passed, that I was just hooked up to all these machines. And I woke up, but I woke up like sweating, like I just ran a marathon, like I just ran 3 miles. You know what I mean? Like I was sweating. My heart was, and when I woke up, like all these machines started going crazy and all that. And I was like, what the, and then people start running it, and then that's when I found out it was 3 days. But I didn't tell anybody what I saw when I was out, because it seems so crazy, right? So I've told a couple people about what I saw. I don't really talk about it too much, but that right there is what changed my mind into believing something, right? Something. I did know there's something, right? Somebody or something had to have created this whole universe, right? Even the aliens or whatever, everything, right? Like everything here created by God, by some supreme being, right? So I've always known that, but I never really, but when that happened and I woke up, I was like, oh shoot. And I never told anybody when I woke up, and I didn't tell anybody for 2 years. Yeah, because I was still tripping on it. I thought the story was absolutely insane, so I never told anybody. you know. And then when I went on the road and started looking at stuff and looking stuff up, I was like, oh, a lot of people have had near-death experience or have been through that. And I was like, because I never really looked into that stuff, and it was, you know, and yeah. So that's why I believe my own way, because what I saw, it doesn't reflect what the Bible says about anything. And so, and then I had made a promise to God about something, and a month later I got it. I could not believe it. It was the most craziest thing. I couldn't explain the blessing, and that's why I'm different now. Right? So, yeah, so that lady in the store, I felt super bad about making her cry and making her have fear. I feel super bad about that. But I'm glad that, you know, we got that cleared. You know, apologized to the guy and everything, and took down the video and whatnot. I'm not trying to instill fear in anyone, but unfortunately, that's my life story. People fear me for some reason. You know, I'm not trying to go out there and hurt anybody, but for some reason, I can't explain why. Most of the people who have like deceived me and hurt me like end up no good. You know, and it came so much like that to the point where I started praying to God, please don't hurt anyone else. Please don't kill anybody. Don't let any more people die. I said, it's not that serious. I would be praying, it's not that serious to me. But you know what? Like I said before, it's not up to me. It's not my decision. It's nobody's decision. Nobody knows when we're going to die or when we're going to go or when. That's why, you know, that's one of the main reasons why I don't fear death, because if it happens, it happens. It's not like I can say, please let me stay longer. No. It happens when it's supposed to happen, you know? So, I don't want anybody out there to fear me. Okay? When it comes to these leaders, I really don't care. Kind of like Jesus didn't care when he went to, you know, when he went there to try to stand up to these, you know, people and throwing, you know, I don't even know how to explain it right. When he went to the place. I don't remember the name of the place. And he was pissed off because of the taxes, all this stuff, you know. I don't even know what, you know, chapter that's in, or what do they call them? Passages or whatever. I don't even know where that's at. But he didn't just sit idly by and let people, you know, suffer. He was trying to help people, right? So, yeah, this is very long, but, you know, if you watch it all the way through, it doesn't matter. You don't have to, if you don't want to. No one is forcing anyone to stay and watch these videos all the way through. No one's forcing anyone to subscribe here. No one's forcing anyone to like any videos here. You know? But if you want, it's okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, though. I'm just shocked that anybody does watch. And I do know that some people who are watching is because you're being trolls and you're nosy. But it's okay. Enjoy. So, yeah. Anyways, you guys, I think that's it. I think I'm just gonna kick back. I have my meal right now. I'm watch some American Pickers. That's what I'm watching. I've been watching that for a couple days now. American Pickers. I like that show. I like the antiques. Oh, I bought some things today. Oh, I don't want to say because they're, you know. I'm not a holiday person. I don't really do that kind of thing. But I bought some gifts for some people today. Felt good to do that. Felt good to do that, because like a reason to give somebody like I'm doing it because of something, right? They did for me. So, and I appreciate, that's why, you know what I'm saying? But normally I don't be doing that, but I'm really grateful for them. So that's why I did it. And, I don't know. I'm going to give it to them, and I'm just going to say they can open it whenever they want, because they don't have to save it till Christmas to open that date is not even correct, for the birth of Jesus, but they can do whatever they want with it, however they want to, but I just wanted to give them something, Anyways, I think I'm done. This was Chit Chat. I'm Mona. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.